Hey there. Welcome to Get a Room, the podcast. This is your go-to podcast about the vibrant world of hospitality. We will tell you everything about crafting unique hospitality brands, running cozy hotels, and creating iconic food and beverage experiences. And what are the secrets and strategies that make a perfect customer experience? We'll also dive into the world of graphic and space design and explain how they influence our experiences as guests. Join us as we explore the art of making people feel right at home, one episode at a time. Welcome everyone. This is a special episode because we were supposed to record it in an actual hotel room in Marrakech last week, but it didn't happen because of some operational issues. But we managed to do it remotely. So Anas is joining us from Marrakech. Anas is a friend of mine from the 20 past years. And as far as I knew him, he was always passionate about hospitality, working and traveling. Like everything that was related to traveling, he was into it. And I think this is why he landed working in hospitality. Started his career with one of the biggest brands from Accor Group. And now he is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and he will correct me if I'm wrong, I think the biggest brand in hospitality. Welcome, Anas. Maybe give us some couple words about yourself. We are like super happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure for me too. Great honor to be on this second episode. So I listened to the first one, and to be honest with you, it's a catch. It's a must-listen podcast. So I'm very glad to participate as well. So as you said, yes, we know each other since 21 years ago in some mysterious circumstances, I would say. But regarding my track, yes. So I landed in hospitality by choice, which is not the case of everybody, I will say, especially in Morocco, because back at the time, I don't know if you do remember, but we did have a special 2010 plan with the 10 million tourists. So at that time, at 2005, 2006, you had a lot of students who went into this track, I would say. But so I landed by choice. As you said, I love hotels. I love fancy restaurants. I love to travel. I love to discover new cultures. So I started my career in 2014. So 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Your agent, Anas, your agent.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, you already saw my hair.
Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty much it's fancy. It makes you look premium.
Yeah, I'm the George Clooney of Marrakech.
Yes. So besides George Clooney of Marrakech, besides loving fancy hotels and restaurants, etc., which I understand and I feel like this is the experience that we are looking for, and I think it has to be a standard for all restaurants and hotels that we are going to. I would love to ask you to give us more details about why hospitality, and for instance, why not going to aviation, or because it's help you allow you to travel also, or working for tour operator or something like that. Why hospitality itself? Why hotel? Because just for a matter of record, your specialty is work in hotels for big brands.
Yes.
So why you did pick these brands, and why did you pick hospitality? What is the thing that, yes, I want to work for hospitality, and why hotels and not other aspects of hotels? Oh, for hospitality, I mean.
So why hospitality in general? As you said, in Morocco, we are seen as lovely people. Like hospitality is in our blood. It's a common thing for us. So it's not.
It's part of the
job. Yeah, it's not a job. It's part of yourself. It's part of our communication. It's part of our everyday behavior, I would say. So it was not difficult to choose. Why hotels in general, and not travel agencies or as you say, aviation? Well, in hotels, fortunately, I would say that we work in lovely spaces. So lovely offices. So it's very nice. So for some guys, it's a 1 week vacation, but for me, it's a everyday office.
Yeah. And I remember 2 years ago when you kindly invited us to one of the brands we've been working, you worked for. And I was amazed and I said like, yes, I don't know what is the daily work that you have, but it must be really amazing to work there.
Yeah, indeed. It's luxurious, it's spacious, it's natural, it's a lot of green plants everywhere. It's a lovely atmosphere, the weather as well. So it's a lot of factors that made me choose this hospitality track. It came naturally for me. It wasn't as difficult as some other specialities, but yeah, it's common. It was like a common sense for me. It was like I was tracked naturally to it.
Yeah. So we've been teasing the brands that you were working for. Can you give us your track record of the 10 past years?
So as you mentioned, I start with Accor. So it was a Sofitel in Marrakech. Then I switched to Four Seasons, also in Marrakech, another lovely property. Then I came back to Rabat, where I was born and raised, and where we met.
Yes,
absolutely. So back to home, I would say. In Marriott, another great company, great structure, and recently, since last July, so the last 9 months, I would say, I came back again to Marrakech and joined the Mandarin Oriental. So 4 different brands, 4 unique brands, I would say, but with each one had unique and appealing opportunities and structures in general. But yes, the last one, yes, I would say the Mandarin Oriental for me personally, it's the most luxurious one.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been there once, not to sleep because I cannot afford it yet, but I went there for an event during the art fair in Marrakech that happened last March.
Yes.
And I spent I think 2 or 3 hours there, and I saw the lands and lands and lands, and I said I think when you are there as a customer or even as an employee, I think you feel good. I don't know why.
No, it's for real. I remember my first day, I went there to visit. So I visit some room categories, the restaurants, the public areas, and everything. And as you said, you really feel good. You feel like a guest, like you are in vacation, even if you have a ton of work, but you feel good, you feel relaxed. It's the mix of everything.
So that makes me think of a question.
Tell me.
Is it the property itself that makes you feel like that, or is it the brand and the brand culture that is infusing this kind of feeling that they want people, and this savoir-faire that some brand have? So I'm just pretty much curious, and I think people who are listening to us, they are curious. So why, when I do go to the Four Seasons, for instance, or I go to another competitor, why I don't have to feel the same feeling?
So first of all, I think it starts with Marrakech. So as you know, the weather here is very nice all year long. It's always sunny. It's always the smells, the colors everywhere. So it's a mix of Marrakech first, and then here in the Mandarin Oriental with the colors, with the people they work here, with the structure, with everything. So we call it the Little Paradise. It's our nickname, the Little Paradise. So it's really like a paradise, as you said. You visited us a few months ago. You felt the warmth of the people, the warmth of the place in general. So it's very unique.
That's true. And so it starts with the natural aspect of it. So it's Marrakech. Yes, it has an undeniable advantage in terms of weather, etc. But still, when you go to a hotel, it could be a poor experience that you could have, even if it's expensive. But when you go to these places, exceptional places like Four Seasons, Mandarin Oriental, or even the Sofitel in Marrakech, I think you still have I'm insisting on this fact. I think, why do you feel this? Is it based? It's not only Marrakech, because I think you would feel the same feeling if you go to Kyoto, in the Mandarin Oriental of Kyoto, for instance. So you feel welcomed you feel that's kind of the service. I think it's like you have expectations. And I think when you arrive there, this brand can manage to surpass your expectations.
Yes, that's the objective, to go above the expectations.
So this is one of the objectives that you have in internal.
Absolutely. Because meeting the expectation in these days, it's normal, it's natural.
Yeah.
So you have to go above them to surprise our guests, to feel them like they are at home. It's not a hotel; it's a home, a second home from them.
Yeah. So because that's part of it's interesting to say that like your mission at some point is like to make people feel at home.
Indeed.
And also what is like I find it like super interesting is you worked for 4 different brands, and I think you had 4 different kind of consumers, different kind of customers. What I find interesting, and maybe you can give us like some insight about it, is like how are you managing to like evaluate needs of each of the customers? How do you understand the customer? Is it like it's a part of anticipation? Do you have like some data about like, even if I know it's not legal at some point, but do you manage to collect data from the customer to know what they like, their allergies, what are their expectations, etc., etc.? Or is it like a mix of like this kind of science, of marketing science, and on the other hand, like what you, as a professional, you think is like it's a matter of experience and also the brand. So my question, sorry, I've been talking a lot, but my question, the customer is in the center of your experience. How you make the customer feel important? How can you make us feel at home?
As you said, all the big luxurious brands in every sector, not in hospitality, collects data. It's mandatory into these days. So you have to. But first of all, even for a first timer guest, you have to listen. You let them talk. You let them speak about everything, about their feelings, about their emotions, about their needs, about anything and everything. And while listening, of course, you ask some open-ended questions. And after collecting some information here and there, you adapt your offer to their needs. So as simple as that. And
okay, so it's a tailor-made experience.
Absolutely. Every guest is unique. Every guest has his history, his needs, his preferences, allergies. So you have to adapt each one and offer him the best tailor-made stay.
Yeah. And but it's still like you are collecting data, you're listening to them. It's like this is a part of a huge preparation before the arrival. So when we've been speaking about that in the first episode. So we said like the experience of a customer with a hotel or any point of sale in hospitality starts months, like weeks and months before. So they have the first experience, and then like seeing your content, knowing your brand, etc. And then you have to confirm this aspect of it when you have you are getting in touch. Is it like sending an email, having a chat, etc.? And this is where I think, in my belief, this is where you make the difference as luxurious or like an even ultra luxurious brands, is how you translate these needs into a tailor-made experience.
Absolutely.
But my question is, how do you deliver this quality of service? How many people are behind this? Reach this level of quality?
How many people? Good question. A lot.
Yeah.
Essentially a lot. I would say.
But for instance, between the difference between Marriott and Sofitel and Mandarin Oriental, is there a huge difference between like the amount of people who are working in a hotel, or is it like the same amount, but you have less unit to sell for like less rooms, for instance, so you can focus your service on one person instead of like having. How does it work between like what is the difference between Marriott, for instance, and Mandarin Oriental?
So Marriott, as you may know, it's the leader in the hospitality sector in terms of capacity, in terms of number of hotels and number of rooms in general and worldwide. So for them, it's people. So selling. Yes, they have some brands like Ritz-Carlton, like W Hotel, etc., who are luxurious. But the main goal of the group in general, it's selling. But in Mandarin Oriental, it's smaller, it's more intimate. It's nearly 38, 39 properties worldwide for smaller room number.
And what does it mean compared? And what does it mean compared to Marriott, for instance? How many properties do they have?
So
You have the numbers?
Marriott, you have at least 1,500 hotels worldwide.
Oh, okay, wow. Okay, so it's a huge difference. Yes.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So in Mandarin, we, as you said, our main focus it's people. It's the people in general. It's the guest. It's the employee. It's the owners. So everyone. Is important to us. So in the end, the guests are more than important. So with these kind of brands and these kind of luxurious brands, as you say, guests take the most important part of the journey. So you have to make sure to anticipate, to collect all the necessary information. Then when the guest is on the property, he feels like everybody knows him, like he is not in a hotel, like he's really with his family. That's our main purpose, to feel really that you are among your friends, among your families, having a good time. Yes, indeed, paying a certain amount, but among your friends.
Yeah, sure. So you picked a certain standards and a brand. So what I'm hearing from you is you have fundamental difference between, like, even in upscale, because still like Marriott, still it's like an upscale brand, but when we have to compare what is comparable at some point. It's not the same target audience that Marriott is looking at, and rather than like Mandarin Oriental. But what do they have in common is they are placing the customer in the center. I think it's like what you have in Mandarin Oriental is like you are pushing boundaries and offering a super tailor-made personal, like what you're saying is like here at Spain tailored. It's like when we're talking like in marketing and branding, in brands in general, we say like we have segments of clients. But from what I'm hearing from you is like Mandarin Oriental, for instance, it's basically like a segment is the person itself.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, the person itself.
Yeah.
The luxurious one. And you said it's tailor-made thing for everything. It can be for I don't know, for a getaway, for a weekend. It can be for 1,001 nights, like Sherazade in Aladdin at that time. So it can be different things. And that's the most exciting thing in our industry. So each day is different from the next one. Different idea, different need, different aspect that you have to work on and to deliver something unique.
Yeah, sure. Like you are teasing my curiosity. So what does like a day look like when you are working with a client, for instance?
Wow, I wish I have a typical day or a normal day, to be honest.
But how do you start, like, for instance, in terms of team work, how do you manage to serve a client within one day?
For example, just to let you know, so here in Mandarin Oriental Marrakech, each guest has...
Yes, give us some anecdotes. We want some anecdotes.
Of course. So just to let you know, each guest has his own butler, specific butler for each villa. So the butler, of course, purpose is to assist, to manage every, I don't know, restaurant reservation, excursion, bath treatment, etc., inside the hotel and outside the hotel, of course. But also to observe, to see, to speak with the guests in order to see what they like, what they dislike, so we can adapt and we can wow them during their stay. For example, so it's starting like a bad experience, I would say, because it was a family that came after losing their grandparents. So they came just like a tribute to their grandfather that loved to stay in Marrakech in general. So they came as a family and everything. They shared that the purpose of the visit with the butler, and then the butler started speaking with the guests in general, and they shared a photo of their grandfather. So he took the picture, he framed it, he made like a tribute picture with his favorite song, with his favorite book, all the information that he collected. He made a tribute for the grandfather, and the day before departure, he shared it with the entire family. And
he offered this to the family. Oh wow!
Yes, you can imagine how how
moved they were. Yes. Yeah.
how
Sure.
emotional they were. How, wow, I'm lacking the word to describe exactly what they felt.
Yeah. That's
I didn't experience that personally, but just hearing the story, I was emotional. So I can describe how emotional they were.
this is like, yeah, this is what you qualify as like customer experience. You can remember your stay, and if you are considering going back on holidays, you will go definitely to the Mandarin Oriental in Marrakech. So yes, and again, like creating a link between the both episodes. So what you are saying is you are collecting data to know and anticipate the needs of people. And I think this is like becoming like a standard aspect and standard approach of each brand to know what people are want before their stay.
Absolutely.
But what also is crucial is what is happening on a daily basis inside your premises. So what you are sharing with us is this butler, it's a part of continuity of collecting data and collecting the
Absolutely
needs of clients.
data,
Yes.
sharing it,
Yeah.
and trying as one team
Yeah.
the most powerful way to mark their stay with us,
Yes.
our guest stay. You have to look,
Yeah.
because
So
yes,
how
it's
you
easy
turn
to,
an idea. Yeah.
because yes, it's
It-
easy to welcome a guest. Here is your villa, here is your food, here is the swimming pool. Thank you. Goodbye. See you maybe one day.
Yeah.
It's not
Sure.
the objective.
Yeah.
Our objective is an experience. It's not like
Yes.
a regular stay like 10 years, 15 years, or 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Nowadays, with the competition, everything, the evolution of the sector and the evolution of the guest needs, we have to mark them.
Yeah.
You have to mark them in every way.
Yeah. Yeah.
possible.
Sure. Yeah.
The good way,
Completely.
of course, but you have to mark them,
Mhm.
because
Do you think that these kind of anecdotes that you shared with us, is it like just an initiative from this butler, or do you think that Mandarin Oriental as a brand is saying to all kind of employees, whenever you have the opportunity to please a client, do it?
indeed, it's a brand. It's a brand trademark, because as you may know,
Yeah.
it's Mandarin Oriental. It's have an Oriental heritage.
Yeah.
So it's part of the culture of the, I would say, Asian people in general. And you mix that with our Moroccan culture as well, you can only have
Yeah.
wonders.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's not only
It's like,
the heart or the hard work or the character of the butler. It's
Yeah.
the brand signature as well, because
Yeah.
in each property, yes, not in each property you have butlers, but in each property you have employees there that are working in order to tailor-made, personalize, and mark the guest experience.
yeah.
The focus.
So it's the brand DNA. So Mandarin Oriental is based on like, wow, the client.
Yes.
So I just like want to get back to Marrakech and have enough money to stay there for at least like 4 hours.
I can pay for the fifth one.
Yeah. Thank you. Another question based on this, still on the customer experience. I have two questions in fact. The first one is, I don't know if you have the information, but like in your observation, these efforts to make this customer experience like as well as possible, is it a criteria? And I think I have already the answer, but I want to hear it from you. Is it a criteria to make people come back? And in the same question is, if these clients, do you have like Mandarin Oriental clients who are like, whenever they are traveling around the world, they are going to Mandarin Oriental. And whenever they go to any Mandarin Oriental property in the world, they have a folder about their needs, etc., that is centralized, so they know this client is coming. He slept or she slept in Marrakech. She's going to Kyoto. She's going to blah blah blah, etc. Do you take this customer? Do you make notes about this customer experience, what they like, etc., and you share it globally with other Mandarin Oriental hotels, or there is a sort of coordination? So whenever they have a booking, they will call you. Do you know this person, etc., etc.
So yes, to answer the first one, as all companies in different areas, to have return guests is easier than to bring new ones. So yeah, the purpose is to have loyal guests. That's for sure. And everybody work on it. Everybody does that. And about the second question, indeed, all the great companies have some data about their guests that they share internally, of course, but just to personalize the stay, just about the preferences, allergies, if there were some, I would say, issues in other properties, just to be aware about them and to make sure not to repeat the same, not to have the same challenge in second one. So yeah, we share information between our sister properties, but everybody does. In all my experiences in the 4 great companies that I work with, we did that also. So it's not something new. It's not something specific, but yeah, we collect data, we keep it for ourselves, and yeah, we share it with our sister properties.
Okay, that's good. So there is a continuity between there is like a knowledge sharing between the like to make the brand consistent as possible, whatever the touch point is. So if I'm going to Kyoto and I slept like 3 months ago in Marrakech, they will know that I have allergies to nuts, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can surprise you. Like, I don't know, you are a fan of Dom Perignon. They will place a nice bottle for you upon check-in in the next hotel.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
If you, as you said, you are allergic to nuts, they will make sure to not place some nuts in your welcome amenities.
So yeah, it's a matter of making you feel comfortable without having to ask for it.
Exactly. You don't have to say a word. We observe, we notice, we take notes, and of course we make sure that this information is shared when you travel to our sister property worldwide. So you don't have to repeat yourself and say that, yeah, I like this, I don't like this, please do this, please do that.
Yeah, I have another question because I'm jumping back on something that you said. So you said the secret for brands is like to have loyal customers and not always running after new customers, which I do understand. I think it's reality for practically almost all industries. But the question is, how do you get this new clients its first step? So for instance, because your product, your service as Mandarin Oriental is like super premium. How you as a brand, you communicate, how do you, because I'm not convinced, I'm not sure. So I'm just like thinking out loud. But I'm not, how do you make your service known? Because you have pretty much an exclusive brand. I think in terms of, if you ask people, what is your top of mind hotels, luxurious hotels that are existing, they will say like maybe Georges V, maybe they will name hotels like, not brands. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And how do you, as a brand, you stay confidential? You don't name, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have like proper names for properties. So you don't have like the Georges V or the Plaza Athénée, etc. You don't have like these kind of names for the properties. So how do you communicate as a brand to make your brand known before getting to your website? Because we know today that like nobody is typing the name of the brand. They don't type the website itself. They will do research on search engine.
Marrakech in general.
Yeah.
Yes, like everybody, marketing is a big part of every brand strategy. So yeah, they work a lot on it to communicate, to share, to have a certain notoriety. We don't try to be confidential. We love to have new guests for sure.
Okay.
That's one of our objectives as well, to have everyone try to test us, to know us. But yeah, we are not that known because, as I said, we only have less than 40 properties worldwide. But this is luxury. When you are luxurious, you are not present everywhere. Yes, we are not like Georges V, but the Mandarin in Paris, for example, is well known. In Europe in general, the Mandarin Oriental in Bangkok, for example, as well. It's one of the historical hotels in Asia. The Mandarin New York, for example.
Yeah. So the brand strategy, from my understanding of Mandarin Oriental, is to create their own lifestyle, and they are not like, maybe I'm not mistaken. They are not creating, they are not like capitalizing on like historical buildings, like for instance the Georges V or something like that, but they are creating their own lifestyle. So we are creating our own venues, and our vision of hospitality is our brand, and it's not like based on a historical building that we are refurbishing and creating, which is another great, amazing experience. By the way, a different brand strategy, which both are working. To be honest, just two different ways of executing the quality of service and the luxuries.
Yes, indeed. Both are working nicely, but each one is different, as you said.
So, all right. So this is like the part of the customer experience. To sum it up, you collect data before the stay. You make this data valuable for all the teams who are working for one client. And your main objective, I think your mission and your obsession is to wow the clients and make their stay remarkable. And your objective is like to make them a loyal clients at the end of the day.
Yes.
My last question, and this data is shareable because it's part of your brand DNA to share the knowledge, and it's part of the brand DNA because the story about the butler, I think since it's not an initiative, it means that like the brand wants these kind of services to be delivered to clients. But what happens once the client leaves?
We stay in contact.
Oh, okay. So this is interesting. Yeah.
The journey don't start at the hotel. It starts way before by as I said, the marketing aspects, by the reservation contact, by the pre-arrival contact, the concierge contact, everything. And it lasts after departure. It's not after checkout, goodbye, see you maybe one day. We contact them, we send them a survey to see in what way can we better our services. And even after that, the butler stay in contact with the guests. Like for example, after 2 months or 3 months, it's the guest's birthday. They send them a quick WhatsApp or email, a quick note that happy birthday or happy anniversary.
Wow.
So we always stay in contact with the guest. If there is any, I don't know, internal promotion like a special rate or during the festive period, we reach them first to let them know that for Easter, for New Year's Eve, for Christmas, Toussaint, for example, there is special promotion for them as loyal guests. If you want to come again, we will be glad to have you back. And here we go.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, we always stay in contact with them. As I say, the journey doesn't start at the hotel and finish at hotel. It starts way before, and it's keep lasting. Yeah,
so it becomes like a human connection that you're trying to create.
Yeah, as I said, we are forming a family, and family stay in contact. So
sure.
And at checkout time.
Yeah, that's true. That's completely true. And I think I was just like imagining myself like staying at the Mandarin Oriental and having this kind of services, and then just like I want to do it at some point. So if you can have like
one day,
if you can have us like some special rates for people who are listening to this podcast, I think that would be amazing.
Yes, or 1,500 euros you can per night. Per night. Just to
per night, yes, maybe to be precise. So thank you. I think this focus about the Mandarin Oriental showed us how much the customer experience is at the center of hospitality. And as you said, and you illustrated like better than I would do it, is it starts before and it has to end before. I think the difference is like the difference of standards of the brands. But at the end of the day, the Mandarin Oriental is like, let's say it's the top notch of the customer experience that we could imagine. But all the brands can do it.
Yes,
so it's
indeed.
It could be in different format. It could be like even like the 50 euros per night room hotel can do it also, but it would be like slightly different without like it's not the same personalization, etc. But you have at the end of the day to make the customer feel at home.
Yes.
And he's not picking the 1,500 euros per night room, but it's super important to collect to anticipate what the client wants, or even if it's not like anticipating, but at least asking what they like, what they dislike, and during their stay, like try to be as much as possible at their service and try to do it nicely.
And naturally, it has to come
naturally, yes,
with the heart.
Yeah, yes. It works also for guest houses, for riads, for resorts, and we're talking about Marrakech and Morocco in general. Perfect transition. Morocco, big destination. It's getting like bigger and bigger years after years. What did you notice as evolution changes within this 10 last years?
I don't know if you remember traveling before and after COVID, but especially in Morocco, I sensed the difference, to be honest. Because in 2019, it was one of the biggest years in hospitality records in Morocco in terms of revenue, in terms of number of tourists, in numbers of planes, etc., etc., etc. But
okay,
you had COVID just 1 year after, and 2021 was a bit difficult with lots of restrictions, a lot of things to do before traveling. You have to be vaccinated with certain type of vaccine, etc., etc. So it was a bit difficult. But in 2022, just 1 year after all this mess, I would say, was our historical year for everybody.
Okay.
So nobody could imagine that 1 or 2 years after pandemic, all the records will be broken. And 2023, it's the same thing. So before COVID and after COVID, we sense a huge difference in terms of guests' needs, guests' wishes. Because before, yes, I will speak about Marrakech, of course, as I have more experience here.
More experience, yes, sure.
Before, the typical tourist will come to Marrakech to visit Jemaa el-Fna. It's, of course, the famous place here in Marrakech.
Where the food is good, wherever you go.
Yeah, the food is good. You can go to the souk, the bazaar to buy a souvenir. You can go to the Majorelle Gardens to see the Yves Saint Laurent Museum. So it was the typical spots, the historical one, and I will say the modern one, and of course with the nightlife as well, with all the bars, all the nightclub, etc. But then after that, 22 and 23, we sense that guests, you still have guests that looks for this typical, I would say, normal things to do and normal attractions. But a large majority came to Morocco to sense the hospitality of people, to sense the heart, the smile, the cooking, the smells, the colors, everything. But more
the experiences.
Yes, more human experiences. And
it's moved from attractions to experiences.
Yes, more experience oriented. Yeah. So it was a large chance that anyone could sense, but only a few have seen it and adapt to it, because it's easy to remark it, but it's more difficult to adapt to it.
But how do you adapt? It costs money, it's more efforts. How do you adapt to this kind of needs and demands?
It depends. Because first of all, you have a digital transformation with everything with COVID, as you may know, in all these sectors. It was a huge digital transformation, and the hospitality industry had to deal with it as well. They had to embrace the new technologies, like, I don't know, mobile check-ins, room keys, digital concierge services. So at the first, it was to continue on the procedures with COVID, but you have to continue with it. So for example, as I said, digital transformation was a huge part. And of course, you have the other thing, it's sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability, yes.
Yeah, people were more towards sustainable practices. Or, I don't know.
And this is like, and it's an interesting point, and I think it's like a pretty much tricky point. So my question is, how can you say that we are trying to be sustainable as hospitality, but the travel mean that you are using is airplanes, which is like one of the most polluting one. So how do you think this sustainability trend, and which is like a structural trend, will be matching with this contradiction with, if I have to go to Marrakech, there is no other mean than taking an airplane? And especially if I'm going to, like, from continent to continent, or going long distances. So how can we imagine a sustainable hospitality, for instance? Do you have do you think about it, or maybe we could have like some insights from your side?
Will continue like that. But even with airplanes, they are working on more ecological airplanes. It will not reduce that much of carbon in the air, but they are working on it. But in hospital, it's more or less in the linen. For example, we advise the guests that if they would like, they can keep the same linen for like 2 days and not change it every day.
Yeah, okay.
Small thing like that can make a difference at the end of the year. If, for example, during the day, instead of changing the linen for 100 guests, we only change it for 40. So if you do it,
so you save in water, you save in energy, etc.
As well. Yeah. For example, in Marrakech, in the Mandarin Oriental, we don't buy any more water. We have water inside that we treat.
Oh, okay.
We work on. And we have our own bottles, so to avoid plastic. And also,
and this is again, an initiative from the brand. Yes,
absolutely. In all properties. And another aspect in our resorts, all the villas in suite have their own pools, and during the winter, guests can choose to preheat the pool, which is normal as the temperature drop off.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not that cold as Europe, but 10 degrees here in Morocco is very cold. Trust me.
It's cold. Yes, it's winter. Yes.
So they can choose to preheat their pool by turning it up to 28 or 29 degrees. We also explain to them that for environmental reason, they can choose to not preheat it, only heat it upon arrival. So we can also save some energy and protect the environment, of course.
So your vision as a brand is it's a sum of different initiatives that could help to make the difference, because I think at some point there will be a huge challenge that we have to apply. But
absolutely, it's not easy, but we have to work on it.
It's not easy, it's not enough, but we have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. But I think all the brands are juggling with, but it's I think nobody has the answer yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yes. So from what you're saying, the trends that you've been observing for the 10 years and accelerated in the 2, 3, 4 last years is consumer, not like tourist behavior, is like moving from attraction to more insider experience, digital transformation, a move toward sustainability. And this digital transformation, do you think it's only pre-COVID or it was accelerated with COVID?
No, it was accelerated with COVID, obviously.
Yeah.
Because as you know, with digital transformation, you have less contact with people. And when you come to Morocco, in general, you look to contact people, to feel their warmth, to see their smile and everything. So when you have more digital contact than direct one, it's not the same, especially in our country. So yes, it started with COVID. Some of them continue to use it, and some of them try to go back to the original one and to have more and more contacts, because that's what guests are looking for, more contacts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true. So I think we covered it. Do you have something to add before we move to our Snap questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, so Snap questions. This is our tradition that we start to impose to our guests. So the rule is you have to answer with one question, with one answer.
Right.
So let's start easy. Are you more tea or coffee?
I would say tea. The Moroccan tea, of course.
Moroccan tea with a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
What is your next travel destination?
To be honest, I'm still struggling, but I think between Egypt and Turkey.
Okay, nice destinations. I have to try one of them.
Yeah.
Your favorite design element in a hotel room? And we had Steve last week, and he said the bathroom.
He mentioned the bathroom. Yeah, I remember. For me, I would say the minibar.
So the minibar inside the room?
Yes, the minibar that you found inside the room. Sometimes you have to look after it in this dressing, in this area, and they have some unique designs in some wonderful colors. It's so designs, in a hotel room. The last one I saw, I was in Abu Dhabi, in Mandarin, Abu Dhabi. They have a lovely, lovely minibar. Sadly, I didn't took a picture, but it was, you can imagine, with the Oriental decoration and some modern things. It was very unique as minibar.
Yeah, next time, I think your challenge next time is to take a picture of every minibar that you will be seeing.
Yeah, good idea.
Every room, and we will publish it on our social media.
Nice, very nice.
So you will be our specialist in minibars in rooms.
Got you.
Next question: what is the best city for hotel design inspiration?
I won't be original, but I would say Barcelona.
Barcelona, okay. I think you have something with this city.
Yeah.
You lost the football club there. You lived there.
We won't speak about football, please, with Barcelona. Which
I would love to speak football with you.
No, it's not the best time to speak about it, but not
the best season for you. Yes, I understand.
In plural, but it's okay. It's okay. Yes. But Barcelona as a city, you went there also. It's unique.
Yeah.
The architecture,
yes, that's true.
The food, the weather, the people. There is something special with this city.
Yeah, there is a vibe. The energy of people. It's always sunny, and yes, and I think it's
even the architecture
also
from neighborhood to neighborhood. It's wonderful.
It's different. Yeah, true.
It's very nice.
Next question: what is the most important feature in a hotel room?
I would say the bathtub. It's a ritual for me.
Bathtub. Okay.
Yes. Bathtub is very important for me as well. So it's one of the most important features in a hotel room.
Okay, the bathtub. Okay, so you are at some point like joining the bathroom with Steve. So I think
why not?
Getting somewhere in there.
If you are very good, this is an invitation.
No, I wouldn't say it in this way. I was saying is like, I think the bathroom is the most underrated space in a hotel.
Of course.
To be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's the most important space in a hotel. It's not the lobby. And I will, and this is my battle. I will militate for the bathroom to get the right that it deserves.
With you with that.
What is the most unique hotel you've stayed in? Lifetime. I think I have my answer, but I will let you give it to me.
Yeah, I think you got it right. But I would say that the Four Seasons in Seychelles.
Yes. This is one that I had.
Very unique. They have a lovely property with the part of the island. It's magical. I went there for my honeymoon. It was wow. Apart from the property, the service there, the smile of the people, because they are like us in Morocco. They are warm people. They are always smiling. It's incredible. Always smiling.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been there, but like this is what I imagine. I mean,
yeah. Friendly people, always joking, always positive, etc. And the mix with the weather, with the properties, with the food there, it was really a unique experience and lovely.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, cool. So I think it's like it was your previous professional experience, and you've been to, and you worked for them, and you said like it was a pleasure to work for them, and you experienced it as a customer. And so I think my last question was, but I think you had already the answer. What is the hotel where the customer experience or service has impressed you the most? I think we have already the answer.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah,
sincerely, it's a unique one. It was like 5 years ago, and I can remember the faces, I can remember the names, I can remember everything. I went to other lovely and gorgeous properties with nice service, etc. But this one was truly unique and truly amazing. So I will remember it until my
you definitely recommend it.
The cemetery.
You're still young. And we have one last question to conclude. What is your definition of hospitality? Your own definition with your own words.
Let your heart speak. Be yourself. Be genuine, but really be yourself. Because if you like people, it will shows. It will appear on everything, on your face, on your gestures, on your way to speak, where to stand, on everything. So be yourself and let your heart speak.
Okay, so beautiful wisdom of professional on hospitality. Be yourself and be genuine. This will be the last words of this podcast. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We spent 1 hour together.
Wow.
It was super insightful. It went super quick.
Yes, I thought
super inspiring, and I think it's a lot of takeaway for people who are listening, and for me as well, in terms of customer experience, in terms of the importance of brand DNA, how you infuse it to make the customer experience as enriching as possible and pleasing the customer who is coming and traveling and being trusting your brand. I hope you enjoyed it also, Anas.
A lot. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Seriously.
Yeah, thank you. And you will be, I think we will ask you for other topics at some point, because I think you have a lot to say.
With great pleasure.
And I'm started like already thinking about having like crossovers between like people working in hotels and people working for hotels. I mean, like with you and Steve, for instance, talking together, like creating this dynamic. I think it would be interesting, and this is something we get
absolutely
just like brainstorming out.
We can do a special podcast in one of the hotel's bathroom, for example.
Oh wow, that I will buy. But do we have to pay for the bathroom in the Mandarin Oriental?
We will sneak it.
Or can we do it for free? Yeah. Okay, so we have a special pass. So that will be interesting, yes. So thank you, Anas. Goodbye. And thank you people for listening to us.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye. Get a Room is not just a podcast, it's also a creative powerhouse dedicated to elevating brands in the hospitality industry. From luxurious hotels to relaxing bed and breakfasts, we are mastering the art of capturing the essence of a brand and translating it into consistent immersive experiences that leave a lasting impression.